So on our next segment of propagandists are going to propagandize. This is the Clown News Network. You guys know CNN, right? You guys know this, the Crime News Network, the Clown News Network, the Clinton News Network. They what they have to do is they have to run cover for the California elections because it's all great. Nothing's wrong with it. And watch how they frame this guy is a quote unquote election expert. And watch how they frame what's going on in California. It's just okay. It's normal.
Now in studio is Paul Mitchell, the Vice President of Political Data and owner of Redistricting Partners. All right, we want to get into the races, but let's just first sort of combat what he said. I thought our friend Melanie Mason said something really smart last night on the show, which she said, if the Democratic establishment actually wanted to cheat, the Democratic establishment being Javier Becerra and Karen Bass, the establishment choices, what they would want is to face off against the Republican in the November election, because that would be far easier for them to win. So they would actually try to cheat to help them, not to face off against Democrats where it's a more unpredictable thing. So the whole concept.
I mean, that is the stupidest take I've ever heard in my life. And again, if you're watching CNN at this point, you're an idiot. Just think about that logic. They're saying, oh, well, the reason why they're not cheating is because if they really wanted to cheat, they would just have Karen Bass versus Pratt. No, they wouldn't. You know why they wouldn't? Because Karen Bass is a terrible candidate. So is the other guy, Basura, in the governor one. They're both weak. They're both terrible. And the Republicans right now and conservatives and common sense people are spiking up. The propagandists don't want to sit there and go back and forth and have to play cover 24/7, 7 days a week on what Spencer Pratt's doing. Spencer Pratt is going to eat these people alive for 5 months. That's why they don't want Spencer Pratt, and they don't want Steve Hilton as well. So they're not easy targets because they were winning. They got most of the votes, idiot. Because more people are seeing the policies that are failed policy. It ain't about Democrat and Republican, especially on the local level. And Spencer Pratt says that. They're trying to tie him to Trump. He says, I'm not Trump. I'm not MAGA. I'm not about governors or presidents. I don't give a shit about that. I just love LA. And I just want what's best for LA. They burn my damn house down. But they don't want to hear that for the next 5 months. So again, he's the host of the show. He starts off with a little bullshit narrative about before this guy talks, and then they get into the rest of the propaganda.
That they're so, in his mind, terrible at governing that they can't do anything, but unbelievably competent at fixing an election doesn't seem to make any sense.
No, it's absolutely silly, and it's very disingenuous. And there have been instances in 2022, I think you recall, Ken Calvert was behind a Republican member of Congress. He was behind to Will Rollins for 11 days. And on the 11th day at 2 a.m., in comes a bunch of precincts from Riverside, and all of a sudden Ken Calvert's reelected to Congress, and nobody complained. The Democrats didn't complain. The Republicans didn't complain. But now when we see these elections happen.
Yeah, AKA Democrats don't complain when we lose. Only Republicans complain. And see, they pull that out of their ass. We got a situation too, just like this one. When this guy, blah, 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 it is not the same. It's not even close to being the same. The problem is this narrative that Democrats don't complain when they lose is ridiculous. What's her name? Jasmine Ratchet. She complained when she lost. Hillary Clinton, Russia. They all complained. Now, Republicans complained too. I'm not saying only Republicans, the Democrats only complain. Everybody complains. But when you look at the actual facts and what's going on, you see what's going on. Walking out like that was what big dogs do. Big energy. Damn right, bro. Damn right, spaceman.
And then what's normal is in these elections is that the people who vote earliest are more conservative. Think about your friends or family members, the ones that get the bill, write the check, mail it in right away, versus the others that leave things laying around on the kitchen counter. Young people, renters are slower to return their ballots. Maybe they have other things going on in their lives.
Well, and also think about this particular.
Okay, so let's stop right there real quick, right? I always say there's always truth in a lie, right? People, when they tell a lie, there's always a half of a truth. But my grandma used to always say a half truth is a lie. What do you guys think about that angle he just said? Because that's true. Most, like I just said, that most conservatives, Republicans will get it done early. But again, the numbers that Trent was saying earlier with Benny Johnson show and all this other stuff. What do you guys think about his little thing he just said?
Okay, so yes, young people are a little lazy on returning things. But here's the thing. We're talking hours, guys. Like the old Republican guy will probably vote at 11, and the young the young Democrat may vote at 5 or 6. Like, why is it taking 11 days for them to find out this Congress guy was reelected? 11 days. Wasn't that the whole point of digital voting machines, is that it can just send it back to the center and then boom, you're done? Like, what is the point of, like, they talk out both sides of their mouths. We count the paper ballots twice as fast in my district. We still do paper. We're counted, and don't get me wrong, it's a small county. We have it counted by 10 o'clock, and we close the polls at 8. 2 hours.
I don't know, man. I think if I actually understood, like if I was actually able to circumvent an actual honest, like a truthful answer, I would be afraid, because I think I might be a moron. Because you can't understand dumb. You can't fix stupid, right? And I love the way Jen put it. She put it great. She said they put just enough truth in a lie so that people can't tell the difference. I think that was very well said.
Very well said, Jen.
Yeah, very well said, because that in itself can maneuver within the whole Democratic Party in multiple ways, not just the elections, right? It's a little bit of brainwashing here. It's plant the seed here, okay? Trump saying this on CNN here. We can't do that, right? Because we can't have our people question or double think themselves, right? So, and then you got, this guy up here, I just can't help. He looks like a Timu Jim Carrey, right? Look at him. That guy, look at him. How can you take a guy like that serious, first of all, right? And yeah, you're right, Trent, 100%. With the mail-in ballots and then the digital stuff, it's a freaking mess, okay? Let me backtrack and just go like this. This is the way I see it, okay? Get your ass off, get up, go to your station, which is about 2 miles down the road from you, if that, and vote. Just vote. Get rid of all this mail crap and all this digital this and blah, 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 that. You just go in, fill out some little stupid bubbles, okay? Put your name on it, whatever they got to do, and off to the races. Why do we overcomplicate things, right? I feel like this is so overly complicated. And the more moving parts there are, the more manipulation, the more that can go wrong, the more they can control. So I'm over it, dude. I think you get off your ass and you go vote. You go fill in your little bubbles and you're off to the races.